A deck that I haven't run on the channel for a while, Sram, Senior Edificer, and we're up against Erebos, God of the Dead. Well, we have a couple of lands, so we can get out Sram on turn 2, and that will take us into Lightning Greaves on turn 3, hopefully. And we can get Sram equipped up, and that will cantrip Lightning Greaves. But we are up against Mono Black, so there's nothing to say that Sram will stick around, even if we do get him down on turn 2. Sol Ring into Felwar Stone, so our opponent is ramping like crazy. Be nice to get down that Hyena Umbra onto our Sram before we get down Lightning Greaves. Well, our opponent will be encouraged to kill Sram before we manage to do any of that. They may do it in response, of course, but Sram does trigger off of casting auras, equipments, or vehicles. And we draw a card when we do that. That is a cast trigger, so even if they do it in response, we still get the card draw. Seeing as how our opponent doesn't seem to have gone for any removal, we will attempt to get down this Hyena Umbra. And we do manage to land it, so we'll go for Lightning Greaves. Had our opponent have got down the removal onto Sram, then we could, of course, have got down the 1 Power Stone instead, but we're just going to get in for 3 here. And Hyena Umbra is the enchanted creature gets +1/+1 on first strike, and it has totem armor, so even if they destroy our Sram with a board wipe now, it will stick around. They're going to trade blows with us. With their Dark Confident, they revealed Phyrexian Obliterator for 4 mana. Yeah, Phyrexian Obliterator isn't something I want to deal with, so we might be using Wrath of God sooner than we realise. Okay, well there's Toxic Deluge. That gets around the Hyena Umbra, so they must be setting up for Phyrexian Obliterator. Why don't we go in for... We'll get down Mind Stone, try and keep up with our opponent on mana, and then we'll get down 1 Power Stone. And then Sram is going to cost 4. Yeah, so it would be nice to get into a Plains next turn, because then we'll be able to Sram. Oh, and I was assuming our opponent would be able to get down Phyrexian Obliterator this turn, but they can't. What I was thinking there was it would be nice to get down Sram, and then go for Faith's Fetters onto the Obliterator, and then at least it can't swing in or block. Haven't been over our opponent's commander yet. Erebos, God of the Dead. Indestructible 5/7. As long as your devotion to black is less than 5, it isn't a creature. Your opponents can't gain life. And 2 mana, 2 life, draw a card. Now then, do we want to give them... Yeah, we can give them a swamp. We'll give them a swamp, and then they can get that down next turn into the Obliterator. We do at least know that's in their hand. Have they revealed anything else? Yeah, Yawgmoth's Will is in exile, and we know they have the swamp in hand, so that's fine. We don't get into... Yeah, we can still get down Sram here. And then we go into... This is +1/+3. So we'll do that just for the card draw. Argentum Arm is quite nice. And then we will give Sram haste. This can go in at Karn. No, there's no need to tap that. We can just go for Maze of Ith. And then in at Karn. And that will deal 3 damage, of course. And then we can bounce the Conviction if we want to, but we won't be able to enchant Sram while he has Shroud, thanks to Lightning Greaves. So we will need another creature in play. Okay. They want the Yawgmoth's Will back, so they might be going for Toxic Deluge. Destroy all creatures, so we will bounce the conviction back to our hand. Might as well keep hold of that. And Sram will cost 6 now. And then out comes Phyrexian Obliterator. I think we just Wrath of God, so that we don't have to worry about that thing. I don't know how much reanimation our opponent has in hand, or even in the deck. We have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. So we'll go for that Wrath of God. Get rid of the Phyrexian Obliterator. We don't want to deal with that. And then we'll go in for Recruiter of the Guard. And that can fetch something out for us. Say yes to that. And why don't we go for Stoneforge Mystic is what I'm thinking. Yeah, I think Stoneforge Mystic is the way to go. Although Mirren Crusader might be quite nice. Yeah, we'll go for Stoneforge Mystic. Just so that we can get protection from black. And then we will swing in at Karn. And there we go, that's down to 1. Karn's -1 is put a card you own with a silver counter on it from exile into your hand. And they are ticking up Karn to get something with an exile counter on it. We'll give them Drain Life. I imagine they want as many board wipes as they can get their hands on. And we can see in the exile zone, if I put that back here, Mutilate is in the exile zone with a silver counter on it, so they can minus Karn down next turn if they want to, although I imagine Karn's going to bite the dust soon. Ancient Tomb is nice. Yeah, so why don't we go for our Stoneforge Mystic. We'll say yes to Stoneforge, and I think we're just going to go for Feast and Famine. Be nice to cast this while Sram is on the field, but we can't afford that, unfortunately. And then it's 1, 2, 4. Yeah, we'll put it on the Stoneforge Mystic. And then that can go in at Karn. We'll throw Conviction on this thing just to get a little bit more damage through. We're about to untap our lands. That can go in there. And that can kill Karn, actually. Nope, wrong way. We want this to go at Karn. And that not to go at Karn. We want that to go at our opponent. There we go. Attacking's hard, apparently. There we go. We did it right, because, of course, if the sword hits a Planeswalker, that won't trigger. Now, I don't know if we're going to help our opponent by having them discard a card here. No, they just go for Ancient Tomb. Yeah, it's difficult to know if you're going to help your opponent. I think we're just going to Faith's Fetters onto Erebos there. We don't gain life because of Erebos. But I don't want to just run Sram out into another board wipe, because we wouldn't be able to bounce the Conviction back, and they just get more value that way as well, if they blow up our Sram as well. But yeah, sometimes when you're forcing your opponent to discard cards, especially in black, they can put good creatures to reanimate into their graveyard, and sometimes you're actually helping them by doing that. Okay, out comes Expedition Map. So I'm assuming this is going to go for Cabal Coffers. If that's the case, I think we can blow it up with our Argentum armor. When it attacks, destroy a permanent, yep. We sure can. We can cheat that into play and equip it with Stoneforge Mystic. We're not going to sacrifice anything to the Desecration Demon. We're just going to leave it like that. Okay, Pure Steel Paladin is really nice. We actually have Metalcraft there, so we'll go for Pure Steel Paladin. And then we can go 1 and 2. And that will get us an Argentum Armour. And we do draw a card with that, thanks to the Pure Steel Paladin. That's not on cast, it's just on entry. Stoneforge will not trigger Sram. Okay, Sigarda's Aid. I think this is just auras, isn't it? Yeah, so there's nothing to stop us doing that. We might as well. Sigarda's Aid is a really good enchantment. Then we can equip. We'll equip. What is it? Whenever it attacks, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, we'll just go for that. We'll get Shroud on there. And yeah, here we go. We can oh, and I tapped down the Stoneforge Mystic like an idiot. Okay. That's that's a silly mistake. We're not going to say yes to that. We're just going to swing in. No, I completely forgot to. I thought I'd equip the Sword of Feast and Famine to this. But, obviously I didn't. Hopefully that won't bite us. But what I was aiming for there was untapping all our lands and getting Sram out. But obviously I've made a silly mistake there. Alright, why don't we equip up the Pure Steel Paladin. And yeah, now we can't bounce back the Conviction, unfortunately. We'll just have to pass like that and hope our opponent doesn't have another board wipe. They are no doubt going in for Cabal Coffers here. But I don't know, it could be something else that they go for. Not the Exile, it's the Reveal Zone that we want to reveal. They do have a Drain Life, yep, they're going for Cabal Coffers. They've played Yawgmoth's Will and that. So they have a Drain Life in hand. Deals X damage to any target. You gain life equal to the damage dealt. Okay, out comes Yawgmoth's Will. And they may be going for Toxic Deluge here. No, they're just going for Expedition Map again. So maybe the, what is it called? Thespian Stage to copy Cabal Coffers. No, they're going for Bontu's Last Reckoning, and due to my mistake, we can't get the Conviction back, unfortunately. Okay, out comes Khan again, thanks to the Yawgmoth's Will. And they're going to get their Mutilate back. Mutilate was in the Exile Zone. Where is it now? Oh, it's not anywhere. But yeah, Mutilate is 4 mana. I think it's -4 and everything. Or is Mutilate minus equal to the number of swamps you control? It's something like that anyway. It's effectively a board wipe. Our aim now is to get into Sram. And we can go like that. We do know that they have a means of... What are we doing here? Yeah, they do have a means of killing Sram again. And they can just board wipe us if we take too much damage. We'll go for the sword, and we're going to Hope that they don't have removal. Doesn't look like they do. They might be able to force us to sacrifice a creature though. We can go for Dark Steel Axe. That will draw us a card. Okay, Sword of the Animist. And then Sigarda's Aid will allow us to attach that to Sram. And then we can of course go for that. Now then, I think we just go for our opponent here. That will force them to discard a card. They should be down to one card now if we'd swung in at them as we should have done last turn. Oh, and yet another mistake. I seem to have... Oh, how annoying. Right, that's two stupid mistakes this game. I seem to have just passed through my turn somehow. Maybe my finger brushed past the wrong key or something like that. As it turns out, how many swamps do they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we could have survived that. Yeah, that's really annoying. That is pretty annoying. But only myself to blame. We could have survived this. But it looks like our opponent's just treading water. Hopefully they are just treading water. I think we're up to 8 on Sram now. Yeah, we shouldn't even be having to recast Sram here, but unfortunately I've just been silly with the mistakes that I've made. Need to hope that Sram survives until next turn. We could have just swung in for lethal this turn, I think, but I allowed Mutilate to resolve. Now we can get down Knight of the White Orchid to take Lightning Greaves off Sram next turn. So even if they wipe the board here, we've at least got a creature to play and hopefully swing through our opponent. They might get down another construct here. You can have a swamp and not a damnation. I don't know how close they are to the drain life. They have to put 2 mana into it and then X will have to be 20. They haven't cracked their expedition map yet. Okay, Diabolic Revelation allows them to tutor for, I don't even know how many they put. Oh, they put 5 into X, so if you can't win off that, then I don't know, maybe they don't have the mana to get the win off. But they should be able to search for a board wipe or something that forces us to sack. But we do have a creature in hand, like I say, and we will hopefully be able to... Yeah, we'll get a land off the Knight of the White Orchid as well. It's a first strike 2/2. We'll be able to give it haste with Lightning Greaves. So yeah, maybe we'll be able to get something going. Okay, mana doubling with Cryptghast gets them into 10 mana. So next turn they'll probably be able to drain us. And they're swinging in with the construct. That is... Yeah, that's risky. They're either trying to encourage us to kill Sram, or they're trying to get our life total down low enough to kill us off right now. Yeah, there we go. We wanted to force them to use the Chainer's Edict, or some kind of sack effect. There is an instant speed 2 mana sack effect as well, which they may have just tutored for. Okay, they're going for the drain life now. That is 6 into drain life to get them up to 9. They're probably doing that... Yeah, they don't want to save it as a finisher, clearly. They want to make sure that we can't get the kill on them this turn, which is probably wise. We'll go for our Knight of the White Orchid. And we'll say yes to that. We'll get our planes. Then we can equip this thing up. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gets us into Argentum armour. We equip up there. And there we go, our opponent sees it. So some really stupid mistakes by me, but we managed to get it done anyway. What we would have done there, I mean, judging by the mistakes we made, our opponent should have played that out because we might have made yet another stupid mistake. But Argentum armour, when we swing in, we get to destroy a permanent. And that's why I said that they shouldn't have swung in with the construct, because what we were going to do there was swing in. But we could have destroyed the construct anyway, thinking about it, because Crit Gas couldn't have blocked. Yeah, so either way, they were done for there, I think, if they didn't have spot removal. And I think they had to use their Drain Life to keep us from giving protection from black and swinging through for the win. So, yeah, tricky one for our opponent, but we certainly gave them enough chances to claw that game back, because made some silly mistakes there, passing through my turn after untapping all the lands, and then not equipping things to the right things and all the rest of it. Yeah, pretty sketchy, but thought I'd get out another Sram game and test the waters, see if any of the newer subscribers like him, because when I've uploaded him in the past, people haven't been particularly interested in these videos as far as the views go. So hopefully you like this one. I like playing him, and yeah, you can let me know either way. Be happy to hear from you about it, whether or not you like Sram Senior Edificer. I'm tribalkai on the EDH channel. Thank you for watching.